So people like to say things like, where do you get your ideas? Or here's where I get my ideas. Why do they say this? I have no earthly idea. Hello everybody, I am GCKW, and people have all kinds of names for the thing that comes up with ideas. The genius, the demon, the inspiration station. That should be a kid's TV show. But we're not going to talk about that today. Today I am going to talk to you about something even cooler, the creativity stomach. What is the creativity stomach, I hear you ask? Wait, no, that's that's the imaginary audience inside my head. Get off the stage. At least your shirt. Your hair makes you look like Fabio. Kinda. So to talk about the creativity stomach, we need to refer to the inspiration station, hereafter known as the brain. So your brain is chilling out, not doing much, and then all of a sudden, it has an idea. It's like a little idea hen. It sits around being boring, and then every so often, out pops a little idea. But what happens to that idea? If you do nothing at all, it goes straight into the creativity stomach. Now once the idea is in the creativity stomach, it starts breaking it down with all of its enzymes and acids and carbs, and it creates a bunch of energy, which it uses to power the inspiration station. It's like a whole system, the creativity digestive system. You could Google it. I mean, don't, but you could. Now on its own, this idea is not going to provide a ton of energy, but it should be enough that eventually you might have another idea in a few weeks or so. But your creativity stomach is going to be a bit hungry. Thankfully, that's not all it can eat. It can actually eat 3 different types of things, and we are going to look at all 3 of them because science. First off, it eats ideas. We talked about that already. The second thing that your creativity stomach likes is expression. Now, an expression is when you have an idea, like, why haven't they made kernel-free popcorn, and then you turn it into something, like a tweet. You might tweet that. You might make a Tumblr post about the last time that you had popcorn, and it was really frustrating because you got halfway through the bag and you realized you couldn't even pull out full bits of popcorn anymore because all of the freaking kernels, and this is a menace that is contributing to the degradation of society, and it is completely unconscionable that no one has addressed this yet. Or you might make a feature film about a colonel named Kyle, and he's shipping off to Afghanistan, and so the night before, he watches Stripes and has some popcorn, right? And then he ships off, and he realizes after he's landed a few days later that he's got a kernel stuck in his teeth. And it's kind of funny because Colonel and Kernel are homophones, which is hilarious when you're at war, obviously. And the problem, though, is that a week later, it gets infected and his mouth gets all swollen and disgusting and stuff because it's not super sanitary over there where he is. And so it gets really, really bad, and his battalion is being attacked. And he can't issue the order to withdraw the troops, and so a lot of them die. And so eventually, he and his command team are airlifted out, and he gets back and he's so just distraught over what has happened and how he feels responsible for it. And so he decides to go to culinary school, and then after that he gets a PhD in biotech, and he manages to engineer a kind of popcorn that is only just the popcorn part. It has no shell. The shell is like pre-removed. It's just like this shrunken down thing, so it expands in the microwave, and you can even cook it for a fixed period of time, and all of the stuff will pop. Like there's no like waiting to see, is it done yet, is it not? And so he creates this thing, and then he calls it Colonel Kernel's Kernel-less Popcorn, and he becomes the Colonel Kernel, kind of like Orville Redenbacher, but for his own company. And he markets this out as this is going to be a brilliant idea to save tons of people from losing troops in Afghanistan because they get infected from kernel teeth. And the problem is that it doesn't do well, and he dies penniless because Colonel Kernel's Kernel-less Popcorn is not pronounceable by most of the marketers, and so they can't market it effectively. You might make that. Now the third thing that your creativity stomach eats is recognition. How many retweets you get on that tweet, or how many new followers you get on Tumblr, or obviously the favorable reviews that you get from your film Colonel Kernel, the Infernal Journal of a Struggle Internal. Now your creativity stomach can digest all 3 of these things, and the more you feed it, the more energy it can provide to the innovation station known as your brain, and thus the more ideas you can create. Now just like a regular stomach, it will expand as you feed it more. Also like a regular stomach, it will contract, but not nearly as fast as might be helpful. So you've got to be a bit careful. The expressions are entirely within your control. The ideas are based on how much energy you've got running through you, and the recognition, well, that's kind of not up to you. The results may vary. a lot? What if you build up an incredibly bloated creativity stomach? The ideas and the expression probably haven't inflated that much as your stomach has expanded. The response has. And when that response dips, you're going to be feeling pretty hungry. But keep in mind that over time, your creativity stomach will adjust. And don't let those hunger pangs stop you from expressing your ideas. It may just be the one thing you really need. What are you feeding your creativity stomach? Is it hungry?